Tossing Grenades at Windmills podcast.
Hi, we're going to keep it really short and informal, folks. This is Rhombus Tix with the lovely Julia Ricks, wife of the semi-deceased T.C. Ricks. We are doing a special podcast live from St. Augustine. Specifically that Julia Ricks has just finished her last class in Librarian School. And I thought we would do a special podcast, since this is, after all, a literary podcast, to first of all congratulate her on her incredibly difficult but impressive feat in finishing and soon to graduate once her portfolio is reviewed. And I thought we'd ask her a few questions, since you've never heard her on the podcast. So let's start with what makes you, she's looking at me incredulously, we may not be able to get a response, we'll see. So what made you interested in the library science?
It was something that I've always enjoyed going to libraries, and I started working in a public library in Atlanta, and it just got me interested in libraries in general, and the people there as well got me interested in libraries, so that's how it started.
So, how does it feel to be done with school?
It feels great, thank you.
I can imagine. So, what do you plan on doing now that you've finished your classes?
Well, first I need to start job hunting, and I have an internship lined up at a university down in Fort Lauderdale. So it's an internship with an archives. We'll see how it goes, and then I will have my diploma officially in December. So, yeah, Merry Christmas to Julie.
Yay! So, I understand that you were married to the quasi-late T.C., is that correct?
Yes, that was correct.
So, tell me, that must have been quite a trial.
You have no idea.
So, I understand that you were the first person to read Forever West, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what do you think about that?
It's like nothing I've ever read before, but I highly recommend it. The characters are very intriguing, and the storyline is great. So
there you have it, folks. The endorsement from the wife of the former author, or the formerly quasi-living author. So what did you think of Grenade Man vs. the Zombies?
Another very interesting work. I really liked that one. It was a lot more along the lines of what I thought a science fiction fantasy book would be like, and just very different, but I enjoyed it.
Which did you like more?
I think Grenade Man vs. Zombies, because it was just so... There was just something about it that I really enjoyed, and I think I liked Grenade Man. He was a lot like the author himself.
Thank you, citizen. You can go back in your box now. So, I'm just referring to Grenade Man out here. So, what are you reading right now?
The Beautiful and Damned.
What's that about?
It's written by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it's based on the author himself and his wife, Zelda. And it's about a couple, and they're living in the during the war years in America, and they're traveling around. I mean, it's pretty much a semi-biographical account of what F. Scott Fitzgerald and Zelda were going through in the 1920s. So it's very interesting.
Do you think Zelda is secretly Daisy?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, so is Gloria, the wife of the hero Anthony in this book, because she's very adventurous and modern. She's a lot like Daisy. So yeah, they're all obviously based off of Zelda.
For those who didn't immediately get the reference, Daisy is the lead heroine in one of F. Scott Fitzgerald's more famous books, otherwise known as The Great Gatsby. Are there any zombies in that book?
Sorry, no.
Are there any strange steampunk, multi-gendered or urban shaman pigeon horde summoning people in it?
Not that I can pick up on.
But you do like science fiction and fantasy.
Yes, I do.
What is your favorite science fiction or fantasy series?
Well, besides the obvious books like TC.
Well, I was driving. I know you have a great passion for Harry Potter.
Well, yes, Harry Potter is probably my favorite pick of all time, just because it's Harry Potter.
So aside from the as yet undiscovered genius of your quasi-living husband, who else might and J.K. Rowling, who else interests you in the science fiction and fantasy genre?
Well, Game of Thrones, that's fabulous, and George R. R. Martin really needs to hurry up and finish the next book. But I also like Charlene Harris's Sookie Stackhouse series. Those are very different from the True Blood show, which is based on those novels. So I like those. I like Mercedes Lackey. And yeah, that's it.
Wonderful. All right, folks. Well, it's been a long day, and we're in the process of slowly migrating down to Miami. So I'm going to bid you adieu, and next week you should be hearing more of Chapter 10 of Grenade Man vs. the Zombies, and some Naked City, and you're going to start to hear more and more interesting things to come. So until then, have a wonderful evening, or morning, depending on where and what time zone you might be listening to.
Shut up! This has been Rhombus Tix reading to you from the Tossing Grenades at Windmills podcast. All of these products are available on Amazon.com and other marketplaces. Copyright 2015 Red Anvil Amalgamated. Initial bumper by Electro Rock Cardiogram. To fight the forces of evil!